welcome to the $1 Million Podcast again. January, you were here with me last time. It's as if it was yesterday, Vince. Say it loud, say it together. Yes, 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 and yes. And why I say that, Vince? Because I know you for a long time, but we've been in personal development for probably the last, 15 years actively?
Exactly.
Like very actively, very actively.
Yes.
Let's say it this way. When we started to play together at a higher level and we decided to say we're going to raise our game to the next level, we decided to have coaches, different kind of coaches, for example, professional and personal as well. Mm-hmm. And where do you see like this has make a big change going from where we were to where we went, for example?
Okay, great. So in life, when we start out at a young age, our heads could be a bit everywhere. And we're not sure in which direction we're going sometimes. But by putting the right mentors in place, by putting the right people around you, the right environment around you, it's going to bring you from where you are to where you want to go. So by starting in the real estate industry, Jean-Philippe, getting into personal development and traveling the world and going all over the US and meeting top producers, meeting top coaches that are able to elevate our self-esteem, are able to boost our confidence, are able to bring us and, really bring us to a higher level.
We went to Tony Robbins, Unleash the Power Within. For people that don't know, this is 3-day all in from the morning, exactly. About 9 o'clock in the morning. And sometimes we used to finish like 9, 10, 11 at night. It was intense. Mm-hmm. And what I liked about that is this was probably the biggest event I've been at that time that was talking about personal development, for example. I was already in certain type of coaching, but not exactly like this.
Yes.
We've been there. There was, 3, 4, maybe 5,000 people.
Yes.
And when he's in front, the guy is almost 7 feet. His hands are huge. Yeah. He's big. His head is huge. His head is probably like this, to a point where he's in front and it looks like unreal. He walks down the street. He's straight. He's big. He's tall. He speaks loud. But he speaks with the right words, the right intention, the right power. He knows exactly how to put his sentence so that he's going to impact people inside.
100%.
And he says something. How fast can you change your whatever? How fast can you change your mentality? Can you change your state, your story, your strategy? How fast? And then he goes, boom, like this. You know why? Because it's all about physiology first. Physiology. Go like this. Breathe well. The focus where you look. Not like this. Look straight. The language. The language you use when you speak, but the language you use for yourself inside your mind. And we learn this and we say, okay, how can we apply this in our lives? And then we say, okay, state, story, strategy. Tell me more about that, Vince.
When you start talking about your state, story, strategy, and you said it right, the physiology, what is your state? Your state, your physiology, the language, your tone that you're speaking. So when you have that in place, okay, well, what is the story you're telling yourself? What is the story you're telling yourself in your brain? Because the brain could control a lot, Jean-Philippe. And then after state, story, strategy. The strategy is the third step. So once you master your state, your physiology, your language, your tone, and then you fix the story, what's going on in your mind, you win over 50% of the time. Then is the strategy. So you gain 50% there, and then you have the last 50%, which is the strategy. So Jean-Philippe, it was an amazing, amazing event, and we learned a lot. A lot of people are going to say the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule. Do you know what the 80-20 rule is? Well, I got to tell you, once you master your state and story, I could say that you're almost at 100%, because the strategy, you could just put the right people in place, delegate it, and you'll master the strategy. But the state and story is very, very powerful.
Yeah, definitely. State and story again. What state you're in, because if you can control your state, you're going to have the right daily, the right journey, if you master your story, if you know who you are and who you can be, this is your story. What's the story you tell to yourself? Because we kind of lie ourselves, because sometimes we say, oh, we're not that good, we're not that great. And we can have a tendency to reduce who we are instead of using powerful words that we are here already. Because if you want to go from here to here, you definitely need to already have the words inside your mind as if you're already there. Because you have to jump in that person. You have to jump in those shoes. You have to jump in those responsibilities. And the way you think, the way you act, the way you feel, the way you're going to speak to other people, this is already there. And the gap will close by itself.
The gap's going to close by itself. With all the energy that Jean-Philippe is giving you, he's transferring an emotion of energy to you, listening to us. But how do you feel listening to this? You must feel energetic, and that's the difference. But when you're surrounded with the people that have the same energy, the same intention, and the same willpower, this is when everything starts changing. So by getting up in the morning, doing the workouts, following the plan, following the 45-day challenge, going to sleep, and doing your certain rituals and routines and habits that you're in, become unstoppable, actually. You become unstoppable.
Absolutely, Vince. And just to push a little bit more towards that direction, I've seen you at different level, and I know that this is major key. Yes, we can be more successful. Yes, we can make more money. Yes, we can help more people. But at the end of the day, this is not the juice. The juice is to control your emotion. The juice is to be in control of your life. The juice is to be able to design the life that you want for yourself, for your family, for people around you, to go from where you are to where you want to be and be able to close the gap because you know exactly what to do to close the gap is to already jump in those shoes, to already do those actions. If you were here, what words would you use with people around you? How would you be impacted by certain things? Would you be impacted or would you be in control? Because this is all the juice. This is where you get from life. Because Vince, I used to learn something, and they say anybody can take a lot of things from you. They can take money from you. They can push you. They can do things. They can hurt you, but they cannot take away who you are, Vince.
100%.
They cannot.
No.
And with all those hours, all the money we injected in ourselves, in our mind, to do personal development, this is something that nobody can take away from us.
No, it's ingrained. It's ingrained in our souls, actually. It's ingrained of how we do things on a daily basis. And when there's obstacles that come in our daily lives, unfortunately, things sometimes could be pretty rock and roll in our day-to-day. But this is where the mindset comes. This is where the focus comes. This is where also the consistency comes of doing the right things at the right time with the right people. So when you're training in the morning, well, who are you training with? Are you training alone? Or are you training alone with a trainer? Are you training with yourself and other individuals to push you, to elevate you and start your day strong because the other people around you have the same energy and have the same physiology? Or are you going to sit on your couch and say, you know what, I don't feel like it today and I'm going to do it tomorrow? Well, I got to tell you something. The rent is due every day, Jean-Philippe. And if we don't show up every day, we're not able to help the people around us, our clients, our family, and our loved ones. So when you want to do more, have more, and become more, everything changes. So if you're ready to become more, you've got to put the right actions in place to make it happen. And you know, we live in a world that it could be very emotional at times because we listen to what's going on in the world and we listen to politics and we start listening to social media. And at times, it could be very challenging when there's a lot of noise. But sometimes you got to put the blinders on like this and you got to go in a certain direction and say, you know what? I'm going to do what I need to do to be the best version of myself, because then I'm able to influence other people around me. So this is where Jean-Philippe comes in, and which he's very strong at, is he has a very strong discipline. Because I don't know anybody that's stronger than Jean-Philippe on his discipline, and he's made it a long way because he knows how to cut the noise and lead a pack of people around him.
I think you touch a good point, Vince. And this is probably, you say I'm good at that. Thank you for that. I have to say I worked on that because I was not like that the whole my life. I was so focused on that to be able to become that. But the thing is, it doesn't happen just like that. It happens with consistency. And when I started in real estate, Vince, I started in real estate. It was hard. It was very hard. Wanted to quit almost every single day, to a point where I said, you know what? I need to make it happen. And when I started to make it happen, the first 2-3 years that I was feeling I was making it happen, for people that are thinking, what is making it happen? I was doing between 30 and 60 transactions a year for about 3 years. And to me at that point, I was feeling successful at that point, but I was getting tired almost every 8 to 10 weeks. Getting sick, my body was telling myself, you have to stop, or I was getting a cold, a flu, tired, disfocused for a certain time. After that, I said, I need to be more consistent. And it's at that moment I said, I will do things that will make me consistent. And at that moment, I decided to do certain things. For example, I did 2 Ironman 70.3. Why? Because you have to be constant. You have to be focused. You have to be disciplined. If you're not disciplined, you will not cross the finish line. That's it. Period. Why? Because you have to be disciplined in the way you train, the way you eat, and how you will be disciplined in your competition at that moment. Because when day comes in, you're going to be there. And first time in an Ironman, for people that don't know, it's still a good amount of time. And when you don't know how to swim, because I was swimming in a small pool, a small circle pool. Huh? They say outdoor pool, not in ground. Huh? Outdoor, which means it's maximum maybe 20, 22 feet. So you're not used to go for 1.8 kilometers. You're used to go for 3, 4. So you don't know how to swim really. And I'm not a bike guy, but I wanted to say, you know what? It doesn't matter if I'm a bike guy, if I know how to swim, if I know how to run, doesn't matter. I will accept this challenge and I will make it happen. But day one, when you're in front of the water and you have all the people around you, and they do it by waves. That means, for example, there is waves, for example, at 6 o'clock, 6:15, 6:25, and so on. So when the whistle goes, boop, and then you have to go inside the water, you're about, I don't know, maybe 30, 40 people at the same time, and you get kicked in the face twice with water coming inside. At that moment, you realize it has started. Life has started. Even though you did practice, even though people told you what's going to happen, and if you're not so used, go on the left side or go in the back. But when you're in the moment, you say, I'm in. I can make it happen. And this is the moment where you have to make it happen. But you realize in life, there's always obstacles. And when you focus on your mindset, your discipline on a daily basis, obstacles there will be, but we will be able to climb it. Awesome. So Vince, 2024, there will be obstacles.
Obstacles every single day.
Every single day. There will be, but how will you accept the challenge to say, I will make 2024 my best year ever in all spheres of life?
Yeah, so something that I've been practicing all my career is just having a little diagram in front of me, a little cue card, and you could do it yourself. And in the cue card, you put a circle. And in that circle, you put lines all around it, okay? And in that circle there, you write circle of fulfillment. So in your circle, you put circle of fulfillment and you branch out on a scale from 0 to 10, 0 to 10. So 0 to 10 on my health, 0 to 10 on my training, 0 to 10 in my business, 0 to 10 on the way I show up with my clients, with my family, with my relationship. So I'm tracking of how I feel when looking at this diagram, and I'm like, okay, how can I bring it from a 7 to a 9 in this afternoon? How do I bring it from a 9 to a 10? And this, what it does, it makes me expand my mind, and it just makes me become a better person to show up that day or the next day. By following the schedule and having the goals in front of me, I know I'm going to make it happen. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, but I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to have the right discipline, the right organization, the right concentration and focus, the right rituals, routines, and habits. I've done it, and I will do it again.
Well said, Vince. Thank you very much to have been here with me, Vince.
Yes.
You've been there last time. You're here today, and I believe you'll be there next month. We'll discuss different points next time as well. It was $1 Million Club. That means Vince was successful, and he will be again, because he said it. It's all about discipline, focus, and put all the blinds. Put something here so that you don't hear the noise going from the right, coming from the left, and you just focus in front, because life is in front. It's not in the back of you. Thank you very much, Vince.
Yes.